And we are live here from the Chicago Street Course in Chicago, Illinois for Road and Plate Palm Rat Golf Series racing. And I'm pretty excited for this one. Should be a fun event for sure. I'm Joshua Coppernoll. I'm joined by Olivia Hayward. Olivia, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. I'm really excited to watch this one. It has those supercars vibes that we all love of this street course, and yeah, I can't wait to see how they handle it.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see how these guys do this track. I've been watching practice for a little bit and seeing some struggles from a lot of drivers here, and checkered flag is falling on qualifying. So we're about ready to get these guys on the grid just that quickly. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup for tonight. Sprint race. And starting on the pole, it is going to be Michael Chow. And Matt Schlosser going to be starting second. Third place, it's Johnny Rapp. Brandon Brush will start fourth. Fifth is Evan Hubchak. Greg Rogers starts sixth. Seventh place is Dustin Bali. Samuel Stoner will start eighth. Ninth, it is Phil Keck. And Daniel Ott starts in 10th.
Devin Jack and Chuck Labano will start 11th and 12th, with Laura Wiseman and Derek Piquet on row number 7. Ryan Campbell and James Moore will start behind, with Jay Best and Edgar Sancinelli 17th and 18th, and there will be William Kinder and Sean Johnson round out your top 20.
21st is going to be Sean Campbell. Aaron Bray 22nd. 23rd, Brandon Carl. Chris Winslow will start 24th. And 25th, it is Tom Wendt.
And just a couple of EOLs coming in for the start of this race. It will be Chuck Labano and Dustin Borley being given an EOL by Dustin Borley, in fact. So they'll look to the tail end for the sprint race to pull their way back through like we did see last time out at Alton.
Going to be fun to see how they can handle trying to work their way back up to the front, or through the field. I guess what I mean. Got looks like 11 laps to do so in the sprint race. The field's starting to roll on pace laps through what I believe is turn 6. So I'm going to ask you that question. I know you're not familiar with these guys too much, but who's your pick to win?
I know it's kind of silly just going with the pole sitter, but Machow really did impress me at all. So I think that triple six would be a pretty safe bet to do well in this one as well.
Michael Chow has been the driver on these road courses. One name that really stood out to me, though, in qualifying, is Matt Schlosser. I'm taking him as my pick to win.
Yeah, it's a name that rings a bell. So I'm excited to see what he can do from the outside pole. It's going to be a double file start, which we only actually saw at this track last year in real life. It's going to be very tricky run down to turn 1. But is going to pull off. Get to go in green here.
The pace car is in. Green flag is out. We're racing at the Chicago Street Course. Oh, we got trouble. It is James Moore. There's a parking lot. Edgar Sancinelli here. Bray. Some others as well. I believe Jay Bass.
And just ended up almost 4 wide into turn 1 there. Gets tapped around by Ryan Campbell, but not really anywhere for the 18 to go. Cars to his inside, and yeah, just everyone then sort of firing through a blind corner onto the exit, and it ends up being the William Kinder in the 35 that really takes the brunt of that stack up. Yeah, that's a really awkward spot for that entire group to be in through such a tight corner. It is gonna spread out the field quite significantly. I believe William Kinder currently is trying to roll it back to the pit lane, but can't see the track in front. Is struggling with the hood of that number 35 machine.
Oh yeah, so far off the pace right now. We got a driver stopped on track. That's Derek Paquette.
Yeah, and already wounded from that open corner incident, just finding those bumps through 8, 9, and 10. It looks like it's going to bring it back around. Over the front though, it is Michael Chow who's managed to hold on that start and breakaway by half a second from Matt Schlosser, who is still keeping him honest as they come through turns 4 and 5 here. And then on to Columbus Drive again, heading back towards our start-finish line.
Yeah, Michael Chow, he's a driver we're used to seeing just pulling away from the competition, but look at this. Schlosser is closing in on Michael Chow.
Feel 2 seconds back from these two right now, so just under 2 laps. But Schlosser doing a great job putting the pressure on and really trying to force a mistake out of triple six here.
He's all over him too. Schlosser on Chow. In the final corner, back out of the front stretch. Chow had a better exit. We got a car stopped in turn 1. I'm not sure who that was.
I believe that's Kinder, just getting out of everyone's way to get back to the pit lane, taking the faster car.
Gotcha.
There's a great fight for P4 here. Johnny Knapp sort of managed to break away as well and sits in P3, but 5 seconds behind our lead, you've got Brandon Brush, Fred Rogers, Evan Hubchak, our winner in the feature park. Simon Stewart, Daniel Ott, a whole cluster of them fighting for that 4th position right now.
It's like Rogers might have caught the wall with his right rear ever so slightly. Coming out of turn 6.
And this is a real problem section of the racetrack. There's a lot of bumps coming through this carousel section. Some drivers hold in 2nd gear, some opting to go up into 3rd gear for that section, but you've got to be super careful on the throttle to not end up sending the rear of the car around, because in that spot you're going to find a wall and another car's probably going to find you as well.
Crazy to think that, well, before I get on with that
Trouble,
point...
Johnny Rapp.
Yeah, Johnny Rapp caught the wall in turn 1. Take a look back. See what happened to Johnny Rapp. Just locked it up, and actually very minimal contact with the wall.
A little too deep there, trying to get it turned while still slowing it up. Obviously locked the inside front tyre doing that. Unfortunate mistake to fall from a pretty comfortable 3rd place. It gives the top 2 a much bigger buffer now as they continue to fight coming through turn 7 here. But Johnny's only down in 8th place, and again got away with that hit without very much damage at all. So good chance, and also is in a great spot for the reverse grid right now.
Yeah, that's the one bad thing is he goes from 3rd to 8th, but ultimately Johnny Rapp, if if he finishes in the position he's in right now, he will start third, like you just mentioned, when the invert happens. These two for the lead, though. Michael Chow is having to work for this one.
Yeah, just head on to lap number 5 here, expecting 11 laps. So, coming towards the halfway point, and a couple times now, the 400 car Max Rosser has been within range to give a little bit of a nudge to Michael Chow. And I'm wondering how long that sort of patience lasts. Does he try and get around clean to avoid potentially causing an incident ahead that could catch him up, or is he going to start to try and get a move done here one way or another?
One thing I'm noticing is, well, we have trouble in turn 1. 2 cars. Hit the wall. Let's see what... Oh, my goodness. Derek Fouquet really just sent it in there, and I believe that was Chris Winslow, the other one involved.
Yeah, obviously tries to avoid, tries to take evasive action to the inside, but can't quite make it happen. That'll knock them. I mean, they're already both running fairly down the order, just trying to block laps, really, but it's not going to help out their efforts here, having a bit of damage on those cars there.
Chow and Schlosser are catching Kinder. Anyway, I think I was about to say that something we see a lot at road courses are... Seems like one driver is better...
Instant in turn 4 here. Greg Rogers actually brought it back to pit lane after a big incident in the braking zone.
Saw Tom Wendt with issues.
Yeah, Greg Rogers from 4th position, just way too deep into 4. Can't get it flipped into the short chute. Found that additional set of tyre barriers was added last year and ends up... See it here on replay.
Oh, man.
And that's our first blown motor of the night. Well, at least it is in a race side. And that's such a tricky sequence because you've got to get it flipped through turn 3. It's just barely flat. And you want to try and get on the brakes as soon as you're out of that corner. If you hit them too early, obviously you'll just go straight on and hit that wall on the outside. But obviously, a moment too late, and you can easily find yourself in trouble.
Braking is very difficult when you're going super fast, trying to get slowed down.
Because you want to use engine braking as well, but being aggressive on the downshift is how you get the wheel hop and how you end up facing backwards into the barrier instead.
Yes.
Will save your engine, to be fair. Your rear axle, maybe not so much.
It's one reason I can't figure road racing out. Sean Johnson stopped in turn 12.
Yeah, he's had a rough past couple of laps. Had been coming through turn 8 as well. Just on the bump, out 12, just on the power a bit too early. It'd be easy to take those sort of corners for granted after the tricky section that precedes it, but it's still so difficult to get these cars rotated and then back up to speed. And with how much weight they're carrying, any corner can give you trouble on the top there.
More trouble in turn 12. That was Ryan Campbell. And
he's already got trouble.
Oh, man. We're going to have to go find out what happened, because, let's see. Oh, man. Oh, and Dustin Bally right there in the thick of it as well. Chuck Labano.
Dustin Bally, by the way, up to 11th after getting that EOL penalty. Him and Chuck Labano on the fringes of that reverse grid pole, fighting for it, in fact, in these final few laps.
Can you imagine? Dustin Bally is able to get around Labano here. Final couple laps and start on the pole for the feature.
Yeah, I mean this is maybe the most important position of the race right now. Michael Chow's done a great job absorbing that pressure from Max Schlosser, and now starting to pull away a little bit. Gap's 1.2 seconds, and yeah, this is a 10 position swing in terms of starting position for the feature race. Stayed out of trouble in that turn number 1 could be crucial as we come, and this is 3 to go now, lap 9 of this race. And the gap's just 3/10 of a second.
And I'm glad you mentioned, trying to stay out of trouble. We've already have seen it before in the series where sometimes the invert can bite you the wrong way, where you go out there, you do perform well in the sprint race, and the feature is there's contact, you struggle, maybe even out of the race. I think this track right here is going to be one where you need to be very careful lap 1, turn 1. And once you get past that, then focus on the, trying to get positions back, to get back up to the front. But otherwise, that one's going to be the one to watch out for. And we got to battle back for the lead again after Chow pulled away. Matt Schlosser's brought Chow back in as the white flag is being displayed.
Oh! So it will just be 10 laps for this one. And I'm sure that's now very much given the hurry up to Matt Schlosser. He doesn't want to try and find any opportunity here. You'd think turn 6 would be the most obvious place, but you can set a move up basically anywhere here as long as you can be close enough and get your opponent offline. The short shoot down into second gear. Some stock cars like to take third gear through the first part of that corner, but the Infinity Machines, you've got to do way down to speed, even for that first apex. Down to 6, Schlosser will not be close enough, but we'll try and focus on the exit here, maybe get a run over the bridge. Is a little bit loose for Michael Chow. Going to have to slot back in line and try and find this run through the carousel section as brave as possible on the throttle here.
And this could be a very sketchy part of the track as well. Schlosser is there. He's peeking to the inside. They make contact. Chow saves it, but Matt Schlosser is going to drive away. He just has one more corner, turn 12 here. And checkered flag is going to be waving. Matt Schlosser is going to win the sprint race.
And what a move that was. You saw Chow sort of back up turn 10 there, try and just block the line. Plus could not be denied, went for that move, got to the apex, and obviously contact coming through there, but I think all's fair in that one. It is going to be some strategy there for P10. Chuck Labano actually thinking he wants to be behind the chaos, gives Justin Bally the reverse grid pole position.
Now, I think these two had some contact.
Oh, yeah, no, yes. Apologies coming through here. Hang on.
So, what happened here Dustin Bolly to the inside, chuckle pot. Oh my goodness.
Goes for a repeat of what they saw for the lead. That one maybe not quite as cleanly executed. But looks like we do have our sprint race winner standing by. If you've got time for a few words, Josh.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk to him. How about you bring him in? Actually, you've already done so. I'll let you take this interview.
Hey, Matt, this is Olivia in the JC TV booth. What a fight that was for that leader, and what a move in the final lap there.
Thank you.
Were you expecting to catch the white flag when you did? And with that giving you sort of the hurry up, how tricky was it finding that spot to try and get that pass done for the lead?
Yeah, it was very tough. I mean, that was the one spot that I felt like I was a little bit faster. Michael was really good at most places of the track, and I was able to gain a little bit there in the second to last turn. On the last lap, I picked that out as my spot. I wasn't sure if I was going to get a better opportunity. So I went for it. I got alongside. I definitely did not want to make contact. We made a little bit of contact. I felt like I was alongside and kept it low. So if anyone has any issue with that, I apologize. We kind of bumped there, but I thought I had a fair shot at it, so I went for it, and I managed to pull it off, and definitely lucky to do that and get the win there.
Yeah, it looked like great start car racing to me. Of course, that will put you starting in 10th place alongside Chow on the 5th row of the grid. How are you going to approach this race start in the feature, knowing you've got those sort of 8-9 cars ahead of you, and the trouble that we did have in the sprint start in turn number 1?
Yeah, it'll definitely take some patience. I mean, it's a tight track. You can't really force a lot of stuff here, so hopefully I can just kind of work my way through and get back to the front. It might be a tall order. There's a lot of really fast guys in this league, so I'll do my best to get back up there. But I think it'll take some patience and just making sure you don't. It's really easy to blow a turn and miss it and be in the wall just by braking a fraction too late. So just some discipline and patience. Hopefully, get back up there and try to race for another podium or something like that.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'll let you get back, but before that, any shout-outs, any sponsors? Who does it done for you today?
Yes, yeah. Shout out to the league, Dustin for hosting the league, and everybody. I've only done a handful or so races here, but I've enjoyed it each time, and appreciate unique leagues like this where we run interesting schedules and stuff like that. And thanks to you guys in the booth for the broadcast. Appreciate that, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Thank you for joining us. Congratulations and good luck with the feature.
Thank you.
That was one hell of a move. I'm gonna say it through the trickiest section to have the bravery to know this is where I'm fast. This is where I'm gonna try and engineer something.
Yeah.
And to then pull it off as smoothly as he did. I'm really impressed by that, and I'm excited to see how he tries to cut through the field, assuming that everyone gets through turn 1 in one piece, obviously.
Yeah, and we need to make it through turn 1 first and foremost. We're getting ready to start the feature race, and I'm going to ask you, do you want to stick with Michael Chow as your pick to win?
Yeah, no, I think he'd be cheating to change my mind now. He was really consistent there. He was, playing it smoothly. Obviously, we've got a long race here, so there's going to be more in the way of tyre conservation. Especially, I'd expect with a slower lap, you'd maybe have a longer fuel stint, and so we might only see time for a slash and dash, potentially, in these cars. maybe a fuel save. Maybe it made it on no stops. I'd love to see if those numbers work out, but being sort of smooth and gently tires is going to really benefit you here, and I think Chad can get it done.
Well, I, however, am going to switch my pick, and I usually don't, but I've got a good case here, and so hear me out. Dustin Bally is one of the better road racers in this league. It's not often that we've been able to see him be up front in the lead like this. He finished 10th in the sprint race to put him on the pole for this one. He's got the track position. He's ahead of the chaos. He's one that will take risks when it comes to pitting. I think Dustin Bally is the man to pick for this feature race, and I think he gets it done finally here tonight.
Definitely the prime position for it. I'm also, one driver I'm looking out for is Evan Hubchak here. Of course, had a great show and ended up winning the feature race at Alton Park, one that was full of quite a bit of chaos. I think the cool head of the number 7 could end up playing a big factor in this one on the tight streets of Chicago.
He's not a bad pick ever as well, Evan Hubchak. And speaking of, I just want to remind you guys that life's really not that complicated, and neither should it be when searching for golf clothes that fit your lifestyle. Palm Rat Golf is designed to allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the fairway to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmratgolf.com today to browse their fine apparel of... my mind just went blank. Polos, pullovers, pants, and more. I made it out eventually. That is palmratgolf.com that you're going to want to visit. Multitasking is not my strong suit.
And we do have a grid hold here. I had a couple people needing a bit at a time, so plenty of time to get those words in. And
it looks like
it looks like we are now going to roll, but Phil Cat hasn't made it to the grid.
So this is going to move everybody on the driver's left up one row, except Dustin Bally. He can't move up anymore. So Johnny Rapp kind of...
That 3 wide has been pushed. Pushed out into the wall, then that bounce back, and then you see deep on the brakes. I think that was the Brandon Carl in the 77 that tapped around Aaron Gray in turn number 2. And the track just pinches there. There's not really anywhere to go. We are going to stay green, but that's a number of cars checked up way down the order here, and quite a few were damaged as well.
Also, something happened to Dustin Bally. He's been passed by Devin Jack and Michael Chow.
Didn't get the best run out of turn 2, and looks like kind of backed off and let Jack and Chow make the move through turns 4 and 5. He's going to just settle into this one, maybe do a little bit of conservation in the early stages of this race. Michael Chow, by the way, let's talk about that from what would have been 8th, 9th place on the grid, already up to 2nd and chasing down Devin Jack for the lead here. But Rabano did a great job following as well. And unfortunately, Matt Schlosser is going to find himself down in P12 after those early incidents.
Yeah, this is kind of the haunting part of the invert. I see Schlosser all the way back here. Long line of cars he has to try to pass.
It's definitely doable. We've got the laps for it, but you don't really be aggressive about picking off those cars ahead of you if you think they're holding you up at all. Let's not forget, a car ahead of you at a track this tight can easily turn into a roadblock without much trouble, as that is loose from Brandon Brush ahead through 9. Just about holds onto it.
Yeah, speaking of roadblocks.
Like you see. And I like that move from Schloss there, starting to move to the inside, put his car in the mirrors of the drivers ahead and try and force those mistakes to get around.
He's got to be patiently aggressive. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but that's how you have to be. Make the moves when you feel comfortable, but make the moves.
Devin Jack found the wall deep in turn number 2. That is going to let Michael Chow pull into the lead, and I think 49 probably carrying a bit of damage on that left front from that. Big hit to the concrete.
Take a look at the replay. That was all the way down in turn 2. Oh man, what a hard lick.
Yeah, and he's really struggling with that car right now. Not being shown a meatball, but might have to come down for an early stop and try and maybe do some fuel saving to get to the end from this one, because that is not looking like it's turning particularly well right now. Chuck pressure from Chuck Lubano behind and Evan Huchak as well.
Chuck Lubano wants pass. He's trying to make a move, but unable to do so. Not going to be there. Make the move in turn 1. Are just struggling, Ryan and Sean. Both of them not having a race to remember.
And that 18 car does look red. It was, yeah, just on the edge again, a bit too even on the throttle there. I think, in a way, lucky that in this case, as opposed to William Kinder in the sprint, the hood detached completely, so we can win that round a bit more safely to pit road to take those repairs. But Matt Schlosser making that same move in turn 11.
Laura Wiseman caught the wall. Oh, and gonna catch the wall again.
11 as well. Ooh. Stood under a lot of pressure with that train of cars behind. It has that sort of rear lock and wheel hop.
Or Wiseman
and it's gonna win it straight down pit road.
Yeah. Smart move to get that car fixed instead of trying to limp it around another lap.
Yeah, it is like you've got to immediately think in, can I make it back or do I have to take it around another time? That does put Matt Schlosser up to 8th place now and is pressuring Ed Desentinelli for that P7. Further up front, Devin Jack is still holding on with that car. It seems like he's gotten back into a rhythm. He's driving through that damage and holding off Chuck Lubano and Evan Huchak behind.
Yeah, his car does not look bad. I mean, a little crinkle on the left front, but otherwise, it looks like a perfectly normal race car.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look comfortable driving right after the incident. Sometimes that's just, you still need to feel out what it's driving like. You hear there is damage somewhere. You're not quite sure how bad it is. You've got to really put a lap or two into it to know how much you can push. And I think Devin Jack found that level just in time. They are going to be fighting down the front stretch. This is Santinelli and Schlosser going to get pinched to the outside. The 400 goes for the switchback, but again is going to have the outside for turn number 2. Got to try and make it happen one more time as
Oh.
Antonelli goes deep and is going to catch the wall.
Brandon Brush taking evasive action. Samuel Stoner following suit.
I think that's the pressure that having a fast driver like Schlosser in your rear mirror can really put you under. We'll try and hold on to that spot, but it's just so difficult to push to that level without ending up making a mistake while obviously having one eye putted behind you.
Schlosser up to P7. Sancinelli struggling, holding on to the back of Samuel Stoner and Brandon Brush. But the battle for the lead, I'm sorry.
Story up there. Michael Chow just letting the car behind stay close. Not pulled away from Dustin Borley here, but also not really letting the 24 get close enough to make a move right now. Still at 25 minutes left in this race, so there's plenty of time to feel that tire wear and to have that ebb and flow come in.
And I feel like with as much sliding as you do, hard braking, 90-degree corners this track has, tire wear is going to be high, I assume.
Yeah, and especially when you think about the load that's going into the tyre through turns 3, 4, 5 and through that carousel section in 8, 9, 10 at the end of the lap. That's where you're really going to feel that lateral load that's going to put a lot of heat into the tyres under that sustained pressure. So I'd really expect, if you've got any time at all, I think 2 tyres is going to be the call. I think unfortunately you won't have the time for 4 and you'll just have to try and stick out the best you can. If it was possible to take rear tyres, I think that might be what I'd like to do in these cars, but unfortunately it's not quite how it works in stock cars.
Yeah, for sure. I think I would agree with you there, taking rear tires. Chris Winslow getting out of the way for the leader, Michael Chow, and Dustin vanished.
I did have, might have been the drive we had to hold for on the grid, had a connection loss there. Unfortunately, there's going to be another one that's going to take him out of contention. Further up the field, Devon Jack has finally had to concede those positions to Chut Labano and Evan Hubschak after what looks like a pretty slow lap, a 1:33 it's going to be. As we get toward the halfway point, there's a moment in turn 6 maybe. Let's let those 2 by. But doing a great job to hold on to that spot in the top 5, and I'm sure we'll be looking to take that fast repair once he does make the stop, just to give himself more confidence for the second half of this race.
Yeah, that'll help a lot. Taking the fast repair. Battle here. Sean Johnson, Jay Bast, and that is Ryan Campbell as well with them. Ryan Campbell a lap down, so not battling for position with Johnson and Bast. And this is for 11th place.
And Jay Bass got a great run out of turn number 5 there. He's going to have the nose alongside into 6. More than that, goes for the late brake and is going to be able to sit the corner nice and easy. Definitely rolls a little bit slow through the apex just to make sure of it, but obviously you're not going to be able to get around an Xfinity car at a track like this on the apex, and a great move from Jay Bass to get up to 10th place.
Yeah, it was a great move there. Textbook. For sure. James Moore is back. And all those positions are lost, but still has more to lose, and I know he doesn't want to do that. So, and see if he can pick off any positions as well.
And with that quick reconnection, there's quite a benefit that comes with that, which is when you have a fast repair in iRacing, your first toe of the race is sped up quite significantly. So to be able to take that quick toe, been able to, as we've had our battle into turn number 6 here, Chuck Labano's going to spin on the outside line and is going to have to wait for quite a while to get going again. There's a few more cars come round.
Poor Chuck, he was 3rd!
Agonizing for the 346 here. And I'm wondering if that might be him done in this one. He's still waiting there. Just alongside with, I believe that's Evan Kubchak. Tries to in on entry and can't quite make it work. And ends up going around the other way.
And has towed back to his pit stall.
But yeah, for more, he had that quick toe. He got back in really quickly. He had a chance to get the service done there, take 4 tyres, take a can of fuel, and is only 1 lap down right now. So he's not going to have a chance to get sort of top 5 out of this, but could still pick up some spots towards the edge of the top 10.
You know, I've been on iRacing since 2016, and I didn't even know that.
It's, I think it was added mainly to try and keep cars in rookies from coming back out of the pits a lap down and in the lead battle. It's trying to keep them on the lead lap just a little bit.
Makes sense. Edgar Sancinelli and Aaron Bray's battle for P11.
And it is this run to turn 3 again. The melee yellow car behind, just on that outside line, kind of walled out of the entry to turn number 4. Has slightly behind, but now has a decent run here. And it looks like he's going to be given the spot. Aaron Bray doesn't think he can defend that one any longer. He's going to slot him behind.
Oh man, Aaron Bray at least had a huge run through the center of the corner. Backed out of it. Edgar Sancinelli takes over the 11th spot. Matt Schlesser, P5. 11.3 seconds off the lead. 13 to go. It's going to take a lot for Schlosser to get up there and win the feature, but crazy things have happened.
Oh!
Well, that's not what you need. And on the other end of that, the other side of that same street corner, Aaron Bray locked up. See what happened to Aaron Bray. Just drifted it.
Well saved.
Yeah, great job.
The brake bias is going to be a thing that drivers will be playing with to try and optimize that braking performance. Max Schloss is going to come down pit road here, split the race in half, and try to maybe get that damage fixed, or maybe just try and pull that undercut on some drivers. But yeah, you want to try and optimize braking as much as possible, but on the rears it can definitely get a little bit sketchy. Well, this might be fuel only for Max Schlosser. Stationary 6.7 seconds. So a very aggressive strategy from the 400 here to try and make some moves further up the field.
And it's something we're used to seeing in this league, where drivers are aggressive with their pit strategy, and I'm wondering what just happened to Dustin Bali. He was right there with Chow, and now he is losing time. I think it might be time for Bali to come in pit road and reset.
Yeah, deep in turn number 6, managed to keep it out of the barriers, but had a very wide arc through the corner. And even if you don't take a fresh set of tyres, it can sometimes be helpful just to take that roll down pit road at 40 mile an hour. Give them a minute to cool down and to get back underneath you, and then sort of focus back in for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I think it is what the not taking tires is what you want to do, but to your point, to come down pit road, take a breath, and I didn't even think about the tires having a minute to cool down, and it's not going to be much, but it'll help for sure with pit road speed being a lot slower than speed on the race course track, so that would help just kind of cool them down too.
Yeah, a big thing about this sort of current iRacing tyre model is how heat sensitive it is. It's all about how much heat you have in the tyre and having to really back it down for a couple laps to dissipate that heat once you have a spike in them. And yeah, a trip for some fuel is not a bad way to do that. It's a productive way to do that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people forget, especially in iRacing, that you may not have the tire wear, but the heat in the tires is going to really affect you, and trying to get them cooled back down is what can help you reset. You can have the same tire wear as the person in front of you, but if your tires are scorching hot from sliding, you're not going to be catching. Not very easily, at least.
To Bali, it does seem like he's managed to get them underneath him without taking that pit. So he's going to try and take advantage of the lower fuel load, which is the advantage of running late in a stint, if you are planning to take fuel only. Although drifts it through turn number 5, maybe a little bit much to ask as we hit lap 15 on this race. So I think I'll lock up some tyre smoke from Chow ahead, or is that from a lapped car, the number 28 that Chow's going to weave around on weak here. Really struggling to bring that car back around.
So now, Chow, this is like the first time tonight he has not had pressure. I mean, Bali's still not that far back, but Bali isn't breathing down his neck. And Bali actually going to come down pit road.
Yeah, I think that's good timing. If you are a few seconds away from the car ahead, sometimes getting completely off their relative can make them sort of start to see ghosts and worry about what you are doing on the other side of the track. We'll see what the strategy is for the 24 here. We know he's had a couple of slides. And left side is going to go up, so it's going to be at least 2 tyres for number 24 crew. And it'll be just those 2. He's going to get rolling again after a 9.1 second stop.
Exit pit road.
Nailed.
It's a sliding William Kinder.
Just enforcing a pit exit line there, I think, number 35.
We look at Michael Chow, and we'll see how he responds to Dustin Bali's pitting that last time by. Bali P3 right now. Brandon Brush has taken over the second position. Still has yet to come down pit road is Brush.
And
we'll
one
see
thing I
here.
will note is that Chow had a little bit of lap traffic there again. I think that is going to be the motivation, maybe more than covering off that undercut. Just starting to catch those cars that have already made their stops and having to get past them. You'd rather have the clean air again. As Chow rolls down pit road. Dustin Borley is just coming through turn 11 right now as the 666 gets stopped. There's going to be very little work done on that car. That's going to be fuel only. That'll save him about 2 seconds. But, of course, it will have a little bit of additional tyre wear. Borley's just hitting the start-finish line now, and Chow is already out and through turn 1.
8 to go. The gap is 4.8 seconds, it looks like. I think 2 tires might be a little bit better than 0 here, but time will tell. There's just under 10 minutes left in this race.
And remember, when it is those 2 tires, Borley's going to be a lot stronger through the right-handers, and is maybe not going to be feeling too much better through the left-handers, like the carousel section. So he's going to try and want to set up really through the first half of this lap through turns 3, 4, and 5 if he can to close that gap down. The gap is 3.5 now after both cars are back up to speed. But he's going to have to gain about half a second a lap and then get the move done as a little bit of a slide there from Chow through turn 7, actually, it looks like. No, that was smooth, surely.
So this is going to be something I'm very interested to keep an eye on. Can Borley catch? And how quickly will he catch?
Got our eye on this battle for P4 here. Devon Jack trying to hold off Matt Schlosser and finds the wall out of 11. But 400 can't go anywhere with it. That is the lapped car of William Kinder just ahead. Just going to cause them a little bit of trouble here, maybe. As the 53 to be the final car to come down pit road, Jay Bast, finishing off the pit cycle.
William Kinder blinking a couple times. This might throw Devon Jack for a loop. These 3 cars stacked together. Devon Jack wants past, but struggling to get past Kinder. Kinder is a lap down, by the way.
Yeah, obviously it's a positive where he's got his own race to run. Fortunately for Devon Jack, Slosher couldn't make a move there, and actually now as Jack gets moved on into turn 6, the 400 not able to follow. He's going to have to set this one up around the lap again. As Devon Jack going to start to try and use the opportunity to pull away a little bit and relieve that pressure. We know the 400 probably the quicker car here from the sprint race, but you've got to try and get to the bumper again. And there's contact to the wall from William Kinder. Plus, going to look mostly okay on the front end there, but it's going to be now a 2.5 second gap he's got to overhaul, and he'll be looking in the mirror to Greg Rogers right now, who's up 14 spots. Gap at the front down to 2 seconds, by the way. Dustin Borley 6 tenths faster last time by, really using those fresh left side tyres to his advantage. But slide through turns 3, 4, and 5 is going to make that more difficult. Remember, it's those first couple laps where you're really going to feel the benefit of that fresh tyre. After you get through that initial phase, that you start to bed in and feel a little bit less quick and more in tune with what Chow's going to have with those 4 original Goodyear tyres on.
Yeah, Dustin Borley just, a slight advantage. I think it was smart taking 2 over 4 because the gap would be a whole lot bigger between Chow and Borley. if Bali had taken 4 tires.
Oh yeah, four's not viable. You lose another 5 seconds.
James
taking those
Moore
opportunities.
stopped or slow on the front stretch. His leaders are coming by. He's going to tow it to pit road.
Yeah, not the day that Moore wanted out of this one. Had a obviously good pace in that sprint race, but just connection issues and issues on track now starting to rear their head. And I would be surprised if he decides that that's enough. He's going to go to maybe watch the duel.
Dustin Bali is reeling Chow in, getting to the point where he can... Oh, well, that's not going to help. Bali locked up the tires in 6.
Been a couple of mistakes there in turn 6 for Bully in this race. It's just not caused any damage, but just setting back a little bit. We might want to look at this battle now where with Matt Schlosser, where he's put back up to Devon Jack within about half a second and is definitely to try and make this one happen. I think it's going to be 3 to go coming to the line here for our leaders.
It's 4.5 minutes left, and Jack gets the wall. Yeah, just like the sprint race, I know the telemetry says 4 to go, but it's when the timer gets to the point where they cannot make another lap without it running to 0. And that would be when the white flag is, so not necessarily 4 laps to go here in this race. Dustin Bali is all over Michael Chow.
Yeah, Chow caught a lapper through that carousel section, couldn't really go anywhere. And it's really bunched up this battle for the lead down within a second now. And Chow's going to have to try and put on a defense one more time to defend for these final couple laps. Great run through that sequence though, starts to extend the margin a little bit. I think Bully struggles a little bit in the back half, and especially through 6 and 7. Goes right back in now into turn number 11.
And I started to say it in the sprint race. I never got my thought finished. But there are times when at road courses, some drivers are better in some portions of the track and not others, and vice versa for, other drivers. So I think you might be able to see where Chow might be better than Bali, and then in other portions where Bali's better than Chow. Just kind of like the sprint race where we saw with Chow and Schlosser.
Yeah, I think Chow maybe a little bit, maybe not slow, but more cautious through 8, 9, and 10, and then into the braking zone of 11. It's kept him in the lead of this race, but he might have to fight a little bit more through there to defend for a move from Dustin Bali here, because he keeps getting close through that section, and it's putting Chow under fire here.
Just under 2 minutes to go. I believe the white flag will be waving at the start-finish line.
You see Bully just hugging super tight to the wall there through turn 9. Opens up turn number 10, but is not close enough for a move this time. Maybe a trial run. We still have a 3-car fight for 4th place here, as actually Brett Rogers has just had a big instant in turn 9. That'll drop him back, but I think he'll be able to limp it back and hold on for at least a top 10. But the white flag is out for our leaders. Michael Chow, Justin Bully, one more lap to decide this one.
Bali might have caught the wall there off of 2. That might be it. That might have slowed him down enough.
A lot of aggression through turns 4 and 5 there, but just can't quite get the exit onto Columbus Drive.
If he turns
Takes him
6.
through 6, slides it on exit. He's giving it everything here, but Chow just smooth through the corners, holding him at arm's reach here.
Dustin Bali, I don't think he has enough.
Chow again cautious through turn 10 here, but he's got the buffer this time. Bali will get close in the braking zone of 11, but can't have the drive off the corner. We're coming to the final turn here. Michael Chow just has to get this 90 to the right and onto the power. And it will be the triple six after being denied in the sprint race. Michael Chow will take the feature.
Dustin Bali second. I think struggling to hold on to that machine. Evan Hubchak brings it home P3.
Yeah, a great consistent race from him. Devon Jack does hold off the pressure there from Matt Schlosser. Greg Rogers holds on for 6th after that mistake on the penultimate lap. And it would be Brandon Brush, Samuel Stoner, and then just come across the line here will be Ed DeSantinelli and Jay Bast for your top 10.
Couple races with a couple of great battles for the race lead all throughout. Chicago Street Course did not disappoint tonight.
And for such an attrition-filled track, I think having the top 8 all within 23 seconds is really impressive at the end of this one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot of bent body panels for sure, but you know,
Yeah.
it's a street circuit. You can still run decently with those.
So let's go ahead and take a look at our unofficial race results. Michael Chow, the race winner. Dustin Bali, P2. Evan Hubchak, 3rd. Devon Jack, 4th. Matt Schlosser, 5th. Greg Rogers, 6th. Brandon Brush, 7th. Samuel Stoner, 8th. Edgar Sancinelli, 9th.
Sean Johnson, Laura Wiseman, and Johnny Rapp. 3 cars under a blanket at the tail end of the lead lap there. They'd be Brandon Carl and Ryan Campbell finishing 1 lap down. William Kinder, Chuck Labano having that incident from that lead pack. He'll finish P18. And then Sean Campbell and Chris Winslow will be your final finishers of the race, I think.
James Moore, 21st. Derek Fickett, 22nd. Aaron Bray, 23rd. Tom Wendt, 24th. And did not start the feature. Phil Keck, shown in 25th. So, let's go ahead and talk to our top 3. And actually, I just got a message from Dustin Bali saying he's declining an interview tonight. He's had a lot of them, so he wants to give Devon Jack the spotlight. So we're going to start off with Devon Jack.
Another plan.
And hey, Devon, a 4th place finish for you. It looked a little rough out there, but you were pretty fast.
I don't know how. I was knocking the walls down every second lap.
Well, it was a pretty decent race for you to still be able to bring it home P4. I mean, you mentioned knocking down the walls. What did the car feel like? How different was it after some contact?
Once you bashed the front end, you started to lose your turn, and I was doing as much as I could to either stomp the throttle or downshift, which I'm pretty sure annoyed the hell out of Schlosser, who was stuck behind me, because I was slow coming out of those last few laps, every corner.
And I was just going to ask you about the battle there as well, to be able to hold him off. What was that like?
I was just hoping I wasn't going to go nose first into the tire barrier. I was mirror driving as much as I was actually looking at the windshield.
All right. Well, hey, sponsors, shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
Yeah, mostly just Dustin for putting this on and managing to get this group of guys together that, well, guys and girls that race really well together. This series has taken off way beyond what he thought it would.
All right. Well, congrats on the top five, fourth place finish for you, and we'll see you next time out.
Oh, thank you.
That was Devin Jack, the fourth place finisher, and turn things over to you, Olivia, who has Evan Hoopjack.
Hey, Evan, this is Olivia in the JCTV. Well, all in all, a fairly calm race from your end there. A great job after having to work through from the fourth row of the grid on that start. Just talk us through that one. How is it managing that initial race start and then getting to work on those couple cars you had ahead of you, Devon Jack and Labano?
Yeah, it seemed like we were almost 4 wide coming into turn 1 there, so I just tried to keep my nose clean. I think Michael was coming out, and then just tried to really conserve tires. And guys in front of me, I don't know if they ate up their tires, made a few mistakes, and just kept it clean.
And of course, the strategy always a factor in these feature races. You went for 2 tires there, as did Borley ahead of you. Was there ever any consideration of trying to take the other 2, or would it just be too much of a time lost for the benefit it'd give you?
Yeah, I think it was just going to lose too much time. And you can really lean on those left sides on quite a few of the faster turns. So it seemed like it was the call.
And of course, strong run of form for you here on the road courses recently. Next time out in a week's time is Sonoma. How are you feeling about that one to run out the road course campaign here?
I feel pretty good. I've ran a few laps. It's tighter, a little more technical, which seems to suit my style. So between Olton, Chicago, and then Sonoma, not too different between the 3 of them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see.
Well, thank you for joining us, and congratulations on the podium finish here. Any shout outs, any sponsors? Floor's yours.
Yeah, of course, Palmrat for sponsoring the league, Dustin for putting it together, and then you guys do a phenomenal broadcast, so we appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations.
Thanks. Take care.
And one more drive to speak to. It is going to be our race winner in the 666 car. Josh is here with Michael Chow.
And yeah, race winner Michael Chow. It was not an easy win for you by any means, as you had to hold off Dustin Bally there pretty much all race long. Walk us through it. What was it like out there for you?
Yeah, it's a crazy racetrack, right? It's like somebody cobbled it together. Dustin a couple weeks ago pointed out to me I hadn't won a feature yet, so I took that kind of personally and decided to do something about it, and I'm glad I got it done.
Well, I want to talk about, first of all, the sprint race with you as well. You led almost all of that race, and then just a couple corners left, got passed for the win by Matt Schlosser. Did that bring any confidence or more aggression in the feature race?
Yeah, first I want to say that was a beautiful move. I totally wasn't expecting it. I thought we were just gonna cruise to the finish, and he sent a wonderful move up to the inside and totally caught me with my pants down pretty much. And that definitely inspired me for the second race. And my turn one for the second race, I was like, screw it, let's not be a bonehead, but let's go ahead and send it and see what happens. And I think that's the move that won me the race.
Now, I was a little surprised that you did not take any tires there. Dustin took two left side tires when he came down pit road. I mean, was it always the plan to not take any tires, just fuel only?
Yeah, I was debating that in my head, but I figured since I was in the lead and this place looks like it may have limited passing opportunities, at least from the first race, I felt that Matt was faster than me. He kept me totally off balance and off guard pretty much the entire race, but he couldn't get by me, so I thought that I would take a gamble with no tires. Looking back at it, I would have taken tires had I known Dustin was taking tires, but that's one of those things, right, where you got to do the opposite of what the other guy's doing, so you just kind of make a call.
Well, it was a pretty good feature race for you. Sponsors, shout outs, who gets it done for you?
The usual Chicken House crew, Dustin and Palm Rat for putting on a good race, and everybody else out there. It was good, hard, clean racing out there.
All right, congrats on the feature win, and we'll see you next time out.
Thank you.
And that was race winner Michael Chow. Was able to get it done. Now, the next time out is at Sonoma Raceway, a track that, well, if you guys didn't hear last week, I'll tell you, I really love. It's one of my favorite NASCAR road courses out there, and I'm pretty excited to see how these guys go around that track.
Yeah, it's maybe not one of my favorite, but that might just be a little bit of a trouble with getting to grips with it. Those crests through that opening sector, the track very much falls away from you on the throttle zone, and it can be really difficult to keep it together through there. So definitely a strong challenge. Definitely, I think you're gonna see that hairpin at turn 11 be your big overtaking opportunity, as well as maybe some luck into turn 7. But yeah, definitely a challenging race and a great final boss for the road course portion of this season.
Yeah, it will be the penultimate race of the season before we head to, is it Talladega? Daytona Oval to finish out the season. Right where we started it at. And so, pretty interesting couple of tracks to finish out the season. Sonoma and Daytona. I'm really looking forward to hitting both of those. But Sonoma should be a whole lot of fun. Let's see, this week, Saturday night, we have Blazer Sim Racing Amsoil Truck Series racing at New Hampshire, the flat 1 mile long track that I'm not really looking forward to. But it should be fun nonetheless. Always good show on Saturday nights for the BSR guys.
And brand new art refresh track as well, so
Yeah.
Gonna be some nice sights and sounds to watch that one as we kick off our mid-season bracket challenge. 16 drivers facing off head-to-head over the next 4 races for that crown.
Which reminds me, we do have a mid-season bracket going on here in Road and Plate as well. This was race 2 in the bracket challenge. So not mid-season, but end of season for Road and Plate for their bracket challenge. Michael Chow advances over Brandon Brush. He was the number 2 seed. And so far, making his way through the bracket there. So I think that's going to do it from us here at Chicago Street Course. Big shout out, thanks to the drivers, the admins, and the fans, because without any of you guys, none of this would be possible. And on behalf of Olivia Hayward and the entire Outstanding crew, right here at JCTV, I'm Joshua Copnell, signing off, saying so long, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.